So welcome back to Chops Garage. Those of you who don't know who I am, I'm James. I run CG Cars. Chops Garage is all about me being a small car dealer. Some of you have followed me from the very beginning when I only bought safe bets like little Fiat 500s, little runabout cars that you couldn't go far wrong with. But as time's gone on, we're mixing up a bit more these days, and as I always say in my videos, part and parcel of giving up the corporate employed role and doing this by myself was to enjoy it and enjoy cars, because I absolutely am mad for cars. So what have we got here then, and how did we come about it? Well, a very good friend of mine is as nuts about cars as I am, and he also has the same sort of attention span as I do on cars, and messaged me the other day and said, James, do you want my S2000? Now, those of you that are hardened car nuts will know an awful lot about the S2000 already. It is pretty much considered one of the best products that Honda ever put out there, and I don't think there's going to be cars ever like it again from really any manufacturers. I think the sort of days of these vehicles are over and done with. But for those of you that really don't know a lot about the S2000, let me fill you in. So the S2000 was Honda's sports car. It's rear-wheel drive, front engine. So that's the format that pretty well accepted that all proper sports cars are. And it features just a 2-litre 4-cylinder engine. Now for a sports car that doesn't sound a lot, but the thing about the S2000 is Honda took their VTEC technology and managed to squeeze 240 horsepower out of a 2-litre 4-cylinder. Now 240 horsepower doesn't sound an awful lot in today's market, but you've got to bear in mind this thing only weighs 1,260 kilograms, which is a featherweight in today's type of vehicles. That gave this 191 brake horsepower per tonne. VTEC technology basically means, my understanding, I'm sure there'll be more qualified people to tell you in the comments, is that when you go above a certain set of revs, the vehicle moves from a normal cam lobe to a higher lift cam lobe. Now the reason you don't start off with a higher lift cam lobe is that makes for an engine that's very easy to stall in traffic. Race cars have high lift cam lobes, and they're okay when you're revving the absolute daylights out of them, but if you try and drive one through town, you'd probably find yourself stalling it quite a lot. So the way Honda dealt with this is you have a normal set of cam lobes, and then as you rev the engine, it moves to a higher lift set of cam lobes via oil pressure and gives you a big spike in power. But it's the way that power is delivered that's the big difference. So as I said, it moves to a higher set of cam lobes to give that power. But that power, the full 237 brake horsepower, does not kick into 8,000, 3,000 revs. Now the full power is at 8,300 revs, but it will actually rev out to over 9,000 RPM. Basically making this a wailing banshee of a sports car. So the question is, why did I jump on this S2000 myself? Well, I've always wanted to try one for starters, but the big thing for me with this one is the mileage. 57,000 miles. And the thing is in outstanding condition. I'm going to stick my neck out and I'm going to say I think all the paint might be genuine. I've gone round the car in detail trying to find sort of masking lines, overspray, colour variations, and I can't find anything at all. Now the story behind this car is quite low ownership as well, 4 owners. But the story is that 2 of those owners were within the same family. It passed from a son to the father-in-law, and the father-in-law kept it garaged, and he did the servicing himself, which means there is a little bit, we'll go through the servicing a bit later, there is a little bit of a gap on the servicing, but when we look in the engine bay, you'll see it's got a brand new oil filter on it. It's got you know, absolutely fresh oil in it, and it runs super well. So when I was told it had 57,000 miles on it, that hurt my interest, but when I got a chance to have a look over it, it jumped again. So we'll have a look at it in detail a second. So starters, if we go to the front end of the car, look, the bumpers, stone chipping wise, we just don't have anything at all. Headlights clear, no condensation, no yellowing. Even the front lip of the bumper here is pretty much in immaculate condition. You can see the sort of metallic flake, sunlight's going down a bit now, but you can see the metallic flake clear as day in the paint. There's no scratches or swirl marks in it. I think it's been very well polished, this car. If you look into this front wing here, you'd expect to be picking up stone chips here as you're driving along. The paint is immaculate, absolutely immaculate. Alloy wheel, good condition, no curbing on it. There's no oxidization. Oh, there is a little bit of oxidization there, but overall the wheel's in excellent condition. Wing mirror cap, bang on, no paint needed to be done there at all. Along this door, no dings or dents. You'd think without any bump strips at this kind of age, 2002, it would be picking up dents and dings, but nothing. The paint is perfect. Door handles, no chipping. Edge of the door, no chipping. Absolutely bang on. The paint again into the rear quarter here, absolutely fantastic. The rear alloy here, again, no curbing. We have got a bit of a lacquer peel on it, which you do get with these diamond cut alloys. I've never found a manufacturer yet that doesn't have that problem, but I guess we are talking about a 2002 car. So to make it perfect, you would probably get the edge of those redone again. The hood, excellent condition. I have jet washed it since I've had it to test it to see if it leaks. No leaking at all. Lovely colour. There is a little bit of wear just down here in the corner. I did consider putting a hood on it, but to be honest, because it's not leaking and the hood's in great condition overall, I really think that'd be wasted money right now, unless someone was to get this and want to make it absolutely perfect. Yeah, so you know, there's no wear through any of these on any of the braces. The colour's really good. Again, it's a little bit of cracking just there, but overall excellent condition. Corner of the bumper here, again, no scrapes or marks. All along here where you might load stuff in, there's no mark in there. This back panel here is perfect as well. Lovely exhaust tips finished in chrome. They're in good condition, no fading or anything on those. There's the smallest little scuffs just here on the very edge of the sort of number plates around there, but you know, to have to pick that out on a car this age is incredible. This rear quarter, again, absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Rear alloy here, again, a little bit of oxidization on the rim, but overall they look great. You can see from the shine they still look great. Again, down this side of the car, I cannot see any dings or dents. The edge of the door might have picked up the slightest of little chips down there, but not much at all. Into the front wing, again, immaculate. No stone chipping, no marking. That front alloy, this one hasn't got actually any lacquer peel on this one. This one's mint. So when you're offered an S2000 with that kind of mileage on a 2002 in this kind of condition, those opportunities don't come up very much, do they? Let's have a quick look inside. Now, I'm also pleased to have this one because I think this sort of gunmetal grey and red leather combo is probably the best combo that the S2000 came in. I'm sure a few people have got their opinions on that. So the driver's seat, we can see, is a lovely red. There's the smallest amount of sort of wear on the bolster there again. If you wanted perfection, you could get one of the leather guys, or you might be able to do it yourself, to be honest, to recolour that bit and it would be absolutely perfect. The passenger seat, I know it's a bit of a cliche to say, but I don't think it's ever been sat in. It's absolutely immaculate. Look at the colour on that. 2002 car. This has to have been kept in a garage. All this stuff would have faded by now. All the carpets in great condition. We've got some original Honda mats there. Those Honda mats could probably do with a little bit of a clean, but I don't know what colour they started out in the first place, to be honest. Steering wheel, all the leathers, absolutely bang on. Gear knob all in good condition. In terms of what you've got toys wise, I mean, that should not be your concern on one of these vehicles. You've got electric mirrors, you've got air conditioning. The heater on this thing is like a furnace. If you've got the hood down and you have it on this setting here, I don't know, you Type R people will be able to tell me what this does, but I put it on that setting when I was driving it with hood down and I was baking. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. We've got an electric roof. I'd personally rather have a manual. I don't know if they ever did them with manual, but this actually works perfectly. I'll show you that in a moment because we'll probably have a look at it with that on. So let's have a quick look at let's get the hood down on it a second, get the right keys. I won't lie guys, if I could run a business selling these types of cars, classics, I would, and that's where I'm aiming to go to at some point. When I don't need to do the kind of volume I do at the moment. So for these, you pull down like that and down like that, and then make sure these hooks are out. I don't know what you're supposed to do with them once you've done that. Then, oh, actually, I guess you put them back like that, don't you? There we go. Let's start the car. So it's got an aftermarket alarm, and I have to press the button there, and then let's push to start. Starts up on the button. We have got an engine management light. I do know what that's for. That's for an oxygen sensor, because a new catalytic converter and oxygen sensor were fitted on the car before I got it, and I don't think the car's agreeing with the aftermarket ones, so we'll have to see what we can do about that. The car itself is running absolutely fine, but it's obviously not reading quite right on that aftermarket sensor. So do the hood. Let me just remember. There we go. It's very, very fast. Look how fast the hood goes down on this. Way faster than anything I've had that's convertible. You can hear the engine is settling down to a lovely idle there. Just what's that, 1600, something like that. My exact mileage 57,551. Obviously I'm going to put a few more miles than that on it. Yeah, and it's never failed to start on the button, and to turn it off you don't obviously use that start button, because that will kick the starter in again. You turn it off on the key there. So with the hood down, it's a really nice looking little car. That I said, that hood goes down super fast. With that heater on, I reckon you could probably drive in any weather and feel warm. Like I said, I jet washed it earlier today. No water came in through the hood at all. There wasn't any condensation build up within the glass. So I'm very confident that that is all good. Like I say, if you got that bolster done, you'd have an absolutely immaculate interior on it. Let's have a look under the engine bay. As you can see, under the engine bay is as clean as the rest of the car as well. I love the fact that even though this is a high performance vehicle from Honda, there's actually room to get in everywhere. Being normally aspirated, we haven't got turbos and pipework sticking everywhere. We've just got that 4-cylinder in there. Lots of room to work around it. Yeah, in terms of, like, you know, even changing an air filter, I mean, I haven't done this yet, so have a quick go. Just pop the clips there. I imagine this is something you could service at home, so I can understand why the guy might have decided to do it, because it doesn't look like it's a complicated car to service. It's a chain driven, so you don't have to be doing cam belts. Actually, I've not really heard of chain problems on these. I mean, I guess it could happen, but I've not heard of them. Certainly had this one sitting around for long periods and it's never made a noise. You can see the oil filter down there is pretty new. Now what do I need to do to get into this? Have I undone that clip? Have I undone that clip? Undone that clip? Have I done that clip? You should want to come off now, shouldn't you? Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Yeah, look at the air filter. That's a brand new air filter in there. So, although I don't have it fully stamped, I have absolutely no doubt this car has been very well looked after servicing wise. The service on this car, based on the cleanliness of the oil filter, has to have been done within the last year. Just pull the oil dipstick there a second. Yeah, look at the colour of the oil. Still translucent. So yeah, very confident this has been well looked after. I think the first thing people tend to do is get their rocker cover repainted on these, but this is the one that's actually not too bad. There's only a couple of little bits that have peeled away on it. If you want to do anything to it, it looks super easy. I mean, if you took this airbox out of the way, even the timing chain looks like it'd be relatively easy. All these auxiliary belts look easy to get to. So yeah, it's and it's quite well set back as well, isn't it? Look how close to the bulkhead that is. See how the engine actually is sitting behind the front wheels there, which is another reason that these will handle so well, getting the weight that far back. We've got a service book here. Seems to be in German, I think, for some reason. What have we got in there? 2 Honda services for 2003, 2004, 2005. Loads of paperwork here for servicing. This one's for discs and pads. And was done a few years back, done 4 years back, £516. 2015 service, 2016 a service. This one, 2017, was a full service. 2019 service, try and get these in order. We've got the Honda book here. with all the good stuff in there. That's the original bill of sale, registration document. So we've got that Honda history, then we've got a gap, then we've got the independent stuff. I was told that the changeover within the family, it went from a son-in-law to a father-in-law, and the father-in-law serviced himself. I've got no receipts or anything for the stuff, so I guess, you know, who knows what happens with that. But obviously it's been serviced most recently. It seems to have been serviced pretty well, so we'll do another oil and filter change on it. I'm sure we'll be good to go on that front. But 2002, I guess if it had a full stamp service history, it'd be gold dust, wouldn't it? Price would go through the roof straight away. Well, it's just starting to spit with rain, so I think it's about time that we took it for a spin, isn't it? You probably heard enough of me talking. What you want to hear next is you want to hear this engine screaming. So let's go for a run. We'll get the hood back up again, I think, for that. So out in the S2000. First question answered for you guys is yes, I do fit. Don't forget I owned a cappuccino, so I'll fit in anything. But it is fairly snug. This one we've got to press the alarm button first. Let's turn the blowers down. Which I have to say, I put the blowers on when I drove this with the hood down the other day. And there's a setting for blowing it through the cabin. Blowing the heat through the cabin. It keeps you stupidly warm. I don't know what the setup is, but I'm very impressed with it. And then we hit the start button. Now, on my initial test drive, I did hear a slight whirring from the wheel over there. I think the caliper might be sticking on slightly, so if you hear that noise, that's what that is. I'm going to stick you up on the dashboard here because I haven't got any other way of sort of attaching. I've lost my holder, and we haven't got a mic on because the last time I tried the mic it was terrible. The feedback was awful and I still haven't sorted that out. So let's get you set up. You can see why these cars are considered so special. There's just nothing else like it. I've had an Accord Type R and I thought that was ballistic. This takes it to another level. Now we've got some of my favourite corners down here. We'll thread it through those, but like I say, it won't be any real speed because I'm scared. Because this road, you can see there's greasy damp spots everywhere in it. We'll just get a feel for what body roll and stuff like that's like. You can tell if it was dry, you'd be flying through. I mean, I'm still doing that at 60 mile an hour in this greasy conditions. I could easily stick a ton more mile an hour on top of that. Got some more to thread together up here. I think I'm doing this in 5th gear as well, so although torque is low on this compared to a lot of other stuff, there's still plenty enough torque just putting along. Yeah, turning is just there. Absolutely there. It's flat as a pancake through the corners. It's like a grown-up ballistic MX-5. Listen to that! Holy moly! You're just waiting for excuses to drop it down a few cogs and just scream it again. I mean, that's still under 6,000 revs and it's, you know, you're thinking hellfire, you've still got a ton to go yet. Here we go. Insane car. Utterly insane. A lot of fun, that. It really is. It just, you've got to drive one to experience that. It's crazy, absolutely crazy how it goes like that. So where do we think we are price wise with it? The prices are all over the place for these. Like I say, you can buy something that's a rock box for £6 grand. You can buy something with high miles and bubbling arches but got an MOT on it for about 8 or 9. You can buy one for 30-odd thousand pounds with mega low miles. They're just, the prices are all over the shop. This is when it comes down to, you know, in this game with the YouTube, I get people messaging me all the time telling me what stuff is and isn't worth. I'm in the game of selling cars. I do my research. I have a good idea of where I think the prices are. I've floated my price around with a few people that are in the know, and they think that I'm bang on, if not a little bit low. I'm going to put this up with the new MOT and with the lambda sensor thing sorted and the brake caliper obviously. I'm going to go 12,995, but I'm going to be absolutely firm at that. Absolutely firm. I actually think it's probably 13,995 with that done. I think if I did the hood and the leather and refurb the alloys, I think it's a 16 grand car, to be honest. Oh, I'll service it as well. I think it could go even higher than that if that had been full history in this condition. I think it could be even higher than that. So I'm going to be at 12,995 firm with a fresh MOT, with the brake caliper done and the oxygen thing sensor sorted, and everything else the sort of left it is. I think, like I say, with the hood, I don't think I get my money back for that. I don't think it needs doing. That needs to be left for someone who wants to make the car absolutely perfect, who's going to have the alloys refurbed, have that leather bolster recoloured, do that, and take it to the absolute pinnacle. But that's someone who's buying it for themselves, who's enthusiastic about the car, putting it away as an investment and wants it perfect. That's not where you should be resale-wise, unless... If it was sat in amongst a load of other stuff like that, if this room was full of BMW M3s and what else types of cars am I thinking of that are collectible? Just lots of collectible sort of modern classics then, and that's what you were known for and you're renowned for. Fair enough. But I like to turn things over quickly. I like to enjoy them and move them on and sell them for fair price. And I think 12,995 for something you don't need to do any paintwork on is this kind of condition. And like I say, the MOT history on it is also outstanding. I think that's a really fair price. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that video. I'm sure, like I say, a lot of you will be jumping in the comments saying why not keep it, but it's almost for me like once I've had a run in them and I've had a drive in them and I've experienced them, it's on to the next one. I've got a list as long as your arm of different cars I'd like to try out. And I'm still fairly early stages of my business, tying that kind of money up in a car just for fun. If I had the storage space, that might be a different thing, but I need all the space I've got for stock at the moment as well. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do hit that subscribe button if you did, down below. Costs you nothing, just notifies you of new videos coming out. If you like this kind of thing, different cars, hearing about car trading, seeing different motors all the time, you like buying and selling cars and you need to do it vicariously through somebody else rather than your own bank account, you want to be watching this channel. So as always, thanks for watching. Catch you again soon.